to Chilango's cooking channel.
Today we're making chicken burritos street style.
Now, I don't know why, but in my experiences, not only in restaurants but also with friends, a lot of people in Europe, they love flour tortilla. I mean, corn tortilla is the best of the best, but I don't know, like I've had many friends that they just like more flour tortilla, and if that's the case, if you are making tacos in a taqueria in Europe but you struggle with this, I think it's okay to find the middle ground and then just go ahead, grab some flour tortillas and let's get to business, because I'm gonna show you how to make some real badass burritos with tinga. Let's get to it.
For this recipe, we're gonna need flour tortilla, cheese, rice, beans. We're also gonna use the same chicken tinga and as well the plant-based protein if you're making vegan burritos. And we're also gonna use the salsa. For the beans and rice preparations, check on this video. For tinga making or the salsa, you can check this in the description. I will link towards the video where we learn how to make those on the chicken tinga tacos. For this recipe, we're gonna use a rice cooker. This is gonna make your life much easier. If you're cooking in a restaurant, I highly recommend you to get a big rice cooker like the ones they use in sushi places. It's gonna make your life much easier, faster, and you can get focused on other things while your rice is getting ready. Now in this time, I'm using long grain rice mixed with a little bit of wild rice just to make it a little bit more rich in fiber. And you can get creative with different kinds of rice you want to use. It really depends on you. Let's chop some garlic, and we have also finely chopped onions. You can also use frozen veggies, and the variations are really up to you. I will explore other ways to make the rice for our burritos, and I would recommend to use the long grain rice. It's the easiest, but you could also use jasmine. I wouldn't recommend anything too starchy or too delicate like basmati rice. In the future, I'm also gonna show you how to make the rice without the rice cooker. Now, let's put a little bit of chicken stock, or in this case, I'm using veggie stock, so it's suitable for everybody. If you cook the chicken and you save the chicken broth, you could also use the chicken broth instead of water, and then add just a little bit of salt. But in this case, I use the veggie stock, and then I'm gonna put a pinch of salt. Don't use too much salt, because you don't need this rice to be too strong in when it comes to saltiness. And then I'm gonna add now just twice of the amount of rice that I used in water, because we're using the long grain rice. And as simple as this, your rice is gonna be ready. It wouldn't even matter if you're making a big amount or a huge amount. As long as the portions of water and rice are right, you put all your ingredients, you put it in your rice cooker, you can forget about it, and you can do other preps meanwhile. From the garlic and the onions that we chopped earlier, we're gonna grab a little bit and we're gonna use them to make fried beans or frijoles refritos. So I'm putting a pan with a little bit of oil, and I'm gonna start frying the onions and the garlic until they get a bit softened. So like just a little stir. And now when they start to brown, I'm gonna add black beans. You can use also other beans. And you could use pork lard, which would be the most traditional way. But since we're making them vegan, we're gonna use margarine, because even though I'm gonna use them for my chicken burrito, my girlfriend's gonna eat the plant-based protein. So just make sure that margarine you're using is 100% vegetable margarine. There are some margarines that contain also a little bit of butter. Now here we have the epazote. At this moment I only have dry epazote. It's really hard to get the fresh one. Maybe in Spain it's much easier, or in Southern Europe, but normally in Scandinavian countries we only have the dry one. So you're gonna put plenty. If you would use fresh one, you can finely chop it, or you could add it before earlier when you boil the beans if you would be making them by scratch. Now we add a little pinch of salt. Don't make them too salty. Remember that the rest of the ingredients have very rich flavors. Then just mash them very nicely. And the fat that we added, the margarine, it's gonna make sure that it's nice and moist. I'm mixing it just a little bit more, and then we're gonna move on to the cebollas and chiles toreados. So torear a chili, it means that you're basically smashing the seeds and everything, like the veins inside the chili, so it's gonna be spicier. If you don't want it so spicy, don't do what I just did when you're cracking the chili with your hands. And now just simply cut the onion in slices, and they don't have to be so thin, just finely chopped like this, like you see I'm doing. Then you put some oil in a pan and we're gonna fry them. Here comes the onions and then the chili. And now all we're gonna do is caramelize the onions. So as you may know, caramelizing means that you're gonna fry the onions until they start browning. This browning happens when the sugars inside the onion start burning, and as they burn, the flavor and the sweetness of the onion will come above the rest of the flavors, and the sharper flavors will go off. It's gonna make them more mellow and super good. Then you're gonna add a little bit of lime and a pinch of salt. And as simple as fast, you got chiles toreados with roasted onions. Now let's move on with the rest of the preps. So these burritos are gonna get finally ready. Look at this, it's just amazing. So now we're gonna warm up the chicken. This is the exact same one we had from the Tinga Chicken recipe. Check on the description so you can see the link for more details. Then we have a pan, a very hot pan, and then we put the cheese slices, or it can be shredded cheese, and the tortilla on top. This is the best way to make a burrito because this is gonna make sure that the cheese is gonna be nice and roasted, and the tortilla is gonna get a little bit crispy and slightly burnt, which I think is the real way to make them as close as possible to like what a street burrito would be. If you're working in a restaurant, you can do this much easier and faster on a flat parrilla, and that's actually how I used to work it out, and it's way faster, much easier, and the result is better than if you don't roast the tortilla. Then we put the chicken or the plant-based protein with the tinga, and once we're getting that nice brown color on the tortilla, it means it's ready to roll. So we begin on a table, and I put already a little bit of cream cheese here. You can use sour cream. And now we proceed to put these delicious beans, and we just make sure to put, I would say the ratio is 50% protein, and then the other 50% is divided between the beans, the rice, and the rest of the ingredients. Here comes the rice. It's nice and steamy, as you can see. And then, of course, super important, salsa. And here it goes. Look at this steaming rice, it's just amazing. And here comes the caramelized onion, and we're just about to finish now our burrito. So we simply put the onions and then firmly and tightly roll the burrito. Be careful, I almost got some of the ingredients out, but then I nicely saved it. And look at that color. I think that a real street burrito must have this roastiness. Look at it. Here's another view. I already cut it, and here are the chiles toreados and a little bit of lime, and that's it.
Basically, you can also leave all the ingredients on the table. You don't necessarily have to roll them, so you can make an easy, like everybody makes their own burrito, their own taco, just to keep it simple. I just wanted to present it like this. I don't know why there is about it, but I really love the part of like eating a little bit of burrito and then biting your own chili. Share this by making this and preparing this for your family members, for your friends, for your co-workers, because nobody should miss this food. It's so delicious and it's so simple and easy to make at home. So those were the Tinga burritos. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. And like always, don't forget to comment how did they went. Send me some pictures, send me maybe a video. I'll be more than happy to share about those in the following videos. Don't forget to leave a comment, a story, an essay, cheers. If you didn't like something or if you have some suggestions, feel free to just comment, and I'll be very, very interested in reading what you have to say about it and what we're doing in this channel. And more than anything, I will be happy to see you on the next video.